why we are committed to ensure that the same thing we have experienced, we're able to extend it to others. It would be selfish for us to have been transformed, for us to have been touched, and keep quiet about it. So it's real.
Okay. Honorable, when was your contact with Discovery?
Oh, well, just like Brother Taiwo, who I knew also when I was in the university, this should be in the 1990s, pretty much I could say in 98. For me, the experience has been the fact that it's not church, so to speak. You have people come from different backgrounds, tribes, tongues, people, and the good thing about it is you talk to the men. You know, we always feel the women are being put to the side, you know, but in this case you find out when men begin to talk, when men begin to converse, that in actual fact men should realize when to take their own. Men should realize that the fact that we have moral decay in our society today is because a lot of the men of then didn't do work. And that's why the repair is coming now. So it's not church, it's interdenominational. It's from every walks of life, everywhere you live. You just come in, share your experience, listen to the word. Now there's power in the word. Whether it's good word or bad word, there's always power in that word. Now you come to hear good word that changes your life for the better. And that's one of the most fascinating things for me. And I've been very thrilled, very blessed, not just being a member of the church, but also coming to the Discovery for Men rallies. It's always very inspirational.
Okay, some people, of course, it's in the Bible. You shouldn't just be the hearer of the word, but the doer. So what would you say accounts for some of this decadence you talked about in our society, despite the fact that there's so much to hear?
Firstly, you see that issue called the maintenance culture. As Africans, now I won't just limit it to Nigeria. As Africans, we lack so deeply in it. We are groomed with culture, which is beautiful, by the way. We're all from different backgrounds, but the culture is respect. The culture is growth. You see, all of these we've all fallen short of that now. And the reason is you find out from the 90s or thereabout, things began to drop. We don't have the right statistics or data to analyze all these things. But you find out that when there is no spirituality anymore, there's no respect for the higher being, the man called God, the being called God, and we passing it on to our children to respect these facts. Now we've become vain, we've become materialistic, we've become everything that is not. You understand? So the plan for Discovery for Men is men discover who we are, know our place, not just in the family, in the nation, and in the world. Why are we Africans? Why are we here? Why are we men? Are we just men because we're just here to sit and just procreate? So these are issues we've discussed. So Discovery for Men is actually one program, but continues every time because it's quarterly, but it still goes every day. It's everyday living, everyday life, everyday everything as we change one life. A few very short example. I just came out of a church last week Saturday, and then I saw men. Oh yes, of course, I gave them a little, and then I saw little kids. They came and they were asking, extending their hands for money. These were things that you could never do before. So if you were in the home, it doesn't matter if you're rich or not, and then you speak to your children, do not take these things outside. Daddy or mommy will look for the money. If it's Gary, let's drink Gary.
So would you say most men have failed in their responsibilities?
I think yes. I'd say that. I'd blame my father. I'm glad for the kind of training, upbringing he gave me and my mom. But you see, I would blame the men of our society today. And then, you know, let's forget the blame now. Let's talk about how to rediscover ourselves.
Okay, so what are we going to be talking about at this
Well,
meeting?
the theme for this particular conference is Beyond Imagination. And the idea is possibilities. The truth that in the midst of so much complexities, options exist. Options are built to be infinite. But people don't know, for some reason, that when they know better, they do better. And there's so much false information around. And few people are really accepting responsibility for the critical issues. So we are dealing with a lot of complexities. But when complexities are intensified, there is a greater and greater demand on knowledge. So unto knowledge we must turn. And what we have done in Discovery for Men is to turn to knowledge, to gather men and begin to share options about how to accept responsibility, how to think, how to navigate the murky waters of life, how to define your economics, how to define your strength as a person. And on Sunday, 4 o'clock, November 6th, what's going to be
tomorrow.
That's tomorrow, actually.
Okay.
What's going to happen is a convergence of men, and we are going to be discussing the type of thinking from an helicopter view, the strength that you need to embrace as a human being in alignment with how God has designed you, and the kind of assumptions you need to hold so dear.
Okay.
And to begin to triumph
we're just
over the
going to-
challenges of your time.
Pastor, any
Okay.
female flies on the wall?
Well, it's Discovery for Men. We have Discovery for Women.
Okay, we'll come back after this break to talk a bit more about this. Okay, okay. Let's see how we round this up.
Okay.
Well, you're going to be expecting men.
Yes.
Is it open invitation for everybody?
Open invitation to men.
Okay.
Most
men, yes.
especially, we want every man watching us today to go out
Turn
there,
up tomorrow.
to turn up tomorrow. Not only that, don't turn up alone. Go out and invite other men.
At the Fountain of
At
Life
the Fountain of Life
Church,
Church, 12 Ilupeju Industrial Estate,
Industrial
Avenue. Number 12 Ilupeju Industrial. It's a very popular place, Uptown Planning.
By PZ.
By PZ.
Okay.
We are
Thank
expecting
you.
men to join us tomorrow.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We've been having a chat with the director, Discovery for Men, Pastor Olakunle Shorinyo. Thank you for being here. Of course, Barrister Taiwo Akinlami is the Commissioner for Legal Vision Alignment, Discovery for Men, and the event master of ceremony, who is also an Honorable Desmond Elliott. Thank you.
Thank you.
For being
Thanks
here.
for having
Thank you
us.
for having us.
We'll go on a break to stay with us on Sunrise.